Now that was before you were licensed, right? So that
No,
was
so
before.
actually I was
You already.
licensed in 2008 for employee benefits, and then I wrote the book in 2015.
No, I mean it's the youth center. That was before.
The youth center, no, that closed in 2015, and I was doing.
Okay, so you were still in benefits with the youth center. Okay, okay.
Yep.
I was thinking the youth center was before. So let me ask this question because this is the question I was leading up to. Um, how do you feel like as it pertains to your insurance license? You got a lot of man. You have a lot of elements, man. But how do you feel like your life was different before you were licensed versus after you were licensed
So licensed as an agent.
as an agent?
Well, I would say that ultimately I had looked at being licensed as an agent as a stepping stone to get to where I wanted to go because I knew I could build a book of business. But through that process, right, we're all on a journey. I realized that my opportunity as an insurance agent, as a licensed individual, I had this incredible opportunity to serve people, which is what I wanted to do, to really come alongside individuals, even if that's through like worksite benefits, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm thinking about that dad and mom who's showing up at some company to trade their time for money and for benefits. So to me, those are the card carrying members. So I've really shifted my mindset that insurance matters from the moment you're born to the moment you die. It's going to matter all in between. So although it might not be a sexy industry, it's an opportunity to live out my core values to help people through this industry.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like having the license and the experiences as a result have changed you as a person?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's required me, if I take it serious, to level up. Like if I'm going to have a license and go out and say that I know what I'm doing, I better know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, this matters to people. When you sit down with a dad who starts to cry because his premium's going up, when you talk to a mom who gets a call, who calls you because they don't understand why they got to bring $3,000 for their kid's hernia surgery, and you're able to come alongside them and serve them. This cannot be like, I just took some test so that I could make money. This has to be something that you care about people, you believe in people, and you provide value. Like you said this at the beginning, if you truly believe that you can show up and provide value, you will be paid for that, right? And even if this is a stepping stone, don't half-ass it. Give it your all. And then if the other thing comes along, fantastic. But that same mentor who told me to go work at that sales company, he always told me, if you're a part of something, be a part of it until the day you're fully released from it, right? If you know I'm leaving this company in 6 months, don't just do mediocre work for 6 months. Show up every day, because it's not just about you. It's about everybody you're touching, right? And so that's really important. If somebody's going to carry around an insurance license and say they know what they're doing, they got to know what they're doing. And that's not an overnight thing. That's coming with experiences and mentorship and conversations. So, yeah, I think it's a serious thing, but I think that it's a very rewarding. I mean, I moved my family to Hawaii 3 months ago because my son couldn't breathe where we lived, and we tried for years to figure it out. And because of this industry, because I've built a company that could be remote, I have the flexibility that when my son can't breathe, I can say, what are my options? And I can do something about it. I'm not a victim to my circumstances. And if you provide value, whether it's this industry or another, you'll have freedoms that many people don't have, because they're not waking up with a, let me help provide value. They're waking up with, what can you do for me? And that's very limiting.
Yeah, man, that is a powerful statement. I would say that's huge, to be able to be able to have a career path that kind of happened, coincidentally, so to speak, and utilize that as a platform to build something for your family where you have the flexibility to take care of your children's needs, whatever they may be. Because that's a big step to move from California to Hawaii.
Yeah, there's huge. But I want to share two things. So if you're young in this business and you're going after this, two things. When I first got into sales, we had a base pay of $2,500 and we're 22 years old. And my friends would call me at noon And they'd say, Ned, we're at Disneyland, or we're watching, the Lord of the Rings trilogy today. Come over. And I'd be like, oh man, I'm working till 5. I got to put they're like, dude, who cares? We get a base salary, whatever. But I put the time in. These guys would go to the restaurants and grab business cards out of the fishbowl so that they had business cards to show on Monday morning. Wow. Right. So I'm just saying, you cannot expect to have the freedoms you want without putting the work in at the beginning. And now I'm at the point, I've been doing this sales for almost 20 years. And I had this aha. It was a Wednesday. I told 2 of my daughters, hey, let's ditch school today and go snowboarding. We're sitting at the restaurant having lunch, and we're eating a $40 lunch. Right. And I had this like, oh crap, I don't want my kids to think that you could just do this whenever. So we have this conversation. Like, I want to paint the picture of why we were able to do this today, because I don't want you to be 25 years old at your first, starting your career out and going, Dad used to ditch on a Wednesday and take us snowboarding and not eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on the lift, which is what I did as a kid. Right. And so I'm really trying, like once you build a level of success, to also help your children understand how you got there and help them to have struggle so that they don't, be that typical, like a family who has some success, their kids don't experience that because they don't understand struggle. So those are just 2 thoughts I felt like I had to share, because I think they're really critical if you're young, getting licensed, building a career.
Very important. I mean, those experiences that actually take you to whatever you define as success, I think those experiences are a part of that definition of success.
100%. Yeah.
Right. It's not just that end result, but it's that entire road. Like, that is what makes you successful, all of it, not just the end result. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, man. So at this point in your career, what's the dream now? Like, what are the aspirations at this stage?
Yeah. So the aspirations right now is for Team Eureka to really build out its sales team and to grow. We have a goal of tripling over the next 3 years for Eureka. And so that's the goal. And really for me to step into that leadership role of, business owns me to me owning a business. So that's the transition for Eureka. And then agency leverage, which is a marketing tool for benefits brokers. That is really, it's been a tool that's worked great for me. And I want to make it available to brokers all across the United States who are growth minded. I'm not trying to have thousands of users. I want to have a couple hundred users who are stoked, right? No contracts. It's for us, by us. We have input in it. So that's the goal with that. And then the Rebel and Create fatherhood stuff, there's no limit on that. I just want to I want to help as many fathers I can in the world discover who they already are and live to their full potential. So I got a few things I'm working on with that.
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, you're on a path to make all of those things happen. I can certainly tell, your energy is infectious. The vibe, the spirit is great. You gave some tips. You gave some tips already, for new people who are thinking about entering into this industry. Any last tidbit that you might want to share for someone who is maybe on the fence thinking, maybe this is something I should get into. Maybe they had an interview with a company and then they catch, your interview, and this is where they're going to glean that insight.
Yeah, I would say a couple things. One is, if you decide to join this industry, you're making a fantastic decision, but know that it's a long-term decision. So don't say, I'm going to try this out for a year. Give yourself 3 years minimum, right? Like small businesses only, most of them fail under 5 years. So go after this. I'll tell you that whatever you decide to do, if you put your whole heart and pursue it, it will be a success. The problem is a lot of times people are just chasing this quick success. There is no quick success. Anybody who tells you that is full of crap. So go after it if you decide. If you do decide, then 3 things that I would really recommend that you do is 1, make a dashboard and track your time. Pay attention. How much time am I spending on marketing, on learning, on team time, on mentorship? Track your time, because then at the end of the year, when you do self-reflection, you could turn the dials on those things. 2nd is learn. Read a book a month. Read, find a podcast, listen to that. You have to be learning. We live in an incredible time where you can have tons of mentors who are amazing. And then third, which is what I'm working on now, is to honor your work time. And when it's cutoff time, you honor that and you go home and you love on your family. That is something that I'm working on. Be kind to yourself at the end of the day. Be happy for your successes and don't judge yourself for not getting as much done as you had anticipated. So those are the things that I think will help you shine as a human being and as a licensed agent.
That's right. Be organized. Be patient with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely. So please share, Ned, before we wrap it up here, how do folks get in contact with you? Please share the information on the podcast, the website, platform, any ways that folks can connect with you after they listen or see this.
Yeah, shoot me an email. ned@agencyleverage.com is good. Find me on LinkedIn, Ned Schaut. Easy enough. There's not a lot of us out there. And then Instagram is where my day-to-day life is, enjoying time with family. And with that, I just hope to inspire other people to enjoy their family as well.
Absolutely. Hey, look, thank you, Ned, for joining. And look, we'll have the information is going to be, if you're watching on YouTube, the information is going to be in the description, with all of Ned's links as well. And maybe, you heard something today that, spark some interest, made you think maybe, you should get a license, but until next time, thank you very much. Take care.